Next up, subversion in our schools from communist China, a shocking new report. Stay with us here on Your Reality Check. Might be a bit difficult for Americans living in a free America to understand anything about dictatorships and even to understand how they come about. How do you create a dictatorship? You can't go to, from freedom to dictatorship by just flicking a switch. How do you go to a dictatorship like China's? How does it become controlled by one party and by a military? Well, it begins where? Listen to Lenin, listen to Mao. It starts in the classroom. You've got to indoctrinate, you've got to brainwash the next generation, because if you get their minds, it's good. You've got the future of them as adults, their parents, and their whole families. Is that happening here in America? A brand new shocking report called Little Red Classrooms, the infiltration of China into US schools, K through 12, has just been released. And to discuss it, we have the president of Parents Defending Education, Nicole Neily, and a good friend of the show, somebody who knows about communist China, Shi Van Fleet. Welcome, both of you, to the Gorka Reality Check.
Thank you.
So, Nicole, tell us about this new study and how we have to take communist subversion and infiltration not at just colleges seriously, but in fact in our children's schools.
Yes, it's horrifying. This is, when we released this report, we identified these programs taking place in 143 school districts across the country, not just in blue states, but in red states. And interestingly, many of them were clustered around military bases, which feels like it's not a coincidence. These are Chinese language and culture programs that have either money, curriculum, or teachers that have come over from the People's Republic of China, which we think families don't know about and absolutely deserve to.
So we have Chinese communist national programs being approved by local authorities for American schools near military bases. What, the local school board says, yeah, this is great?
Pretty much, yes. These were sometimes run through universities, the Confucius Institute programs. And I think most of these school officials who approved these contracts thought, well, this is great. We have free curriculum. We have a free teacher. And as Milton Friedman pointed out, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And the fact that we don't know what these curriculums actually say should be of concern to parents. Are children learning about a one-child policy? They're learning about Uyghurs, about the Taiwan, about Hong Kong, or are they learning a very sanitized version of Chinese history? Parents need to know that so they can make an informed decision whether they want their children to participate in these programs or maybe just take Latin or French instead.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not including curricula concerning the labor camps in China. Shi, you have a brand new book. People need to pre-order it now, Mao's America. I'm honored to have been asked to provide a recommendation. None of this, I guess this new report about Chinese education programs in American schools, I guess that doesn't surprise you, does it?
Not at all, not at all. Yes, and people have to know there's no free lunch, just like Nicole said. The problem is that in China, in rural areas, the classroom had hardly a roof over it. But now they spend so much money on the American K-12. Why? One thing, influence and infiltration. They know how to indoctrinate the kids, and they know you start with kids as young as possible. And why they have so many schools that take their program around the military bases? Well, yeah, they want influence to the military personnel indirectly, and also in DC. Why they have so many programs in DC? They want to indirectly influence the politicians. Very simple.
What is the direct action that should be taken, Nicole? What should parents be doing about these shocking revelations?
Last week, we sent letters to the House and Senate Armed Services, Foreign Affairs, and Education committees, as well as the House Select Committee on China, and to all 34 governors that oversee states where we identify these programs operating, asking them to investigate this, because we are pretty sure this is only the tip of the iceberg. This is what we uncovered after 4 months of investigations. So there's certainly more out there. Something that families should do is we encourage people to, if their school has a Chinese language program, look into it, see if they can find a contract, reach out to us through defendinged.org, because we're happy to file public records requests or look at board documents, because again, families don't know that this is taking place, and forewarned is forearmed.
Yeah, educate yourselves, defendinged.org. We've been talking to the president of Parents Defending Education and one of the bravest ladies I know, Shi Van Fleet, who lived under communist tyranny and wants to prevent it happening here in America. Her brand new book, pre-order it right now, is Mao's America.